Good morning. I'm on the Seattle to Bainbridge ferry boat. If you're thinking about moving to Bainbridge or just planning a visit, you may be wondering how this commute really works. How much does it cost? How long does it take? Is it really practical on a day-to-day commute level? So this video is everything you need to know about the Seattle to Bainbridge ferry. Before we dive into talking about the ferry, it's important to know that Bainbridge Island is not only accessible by ferry. On the north end of the island, the Agate Pass Bridge connects Bainbridge to the Kitsap Peninsula. From there, you can drive to places like Paulsbo and access bigger amenities like Costco, Target, and larger shopping centers in about 30 to 45 minutes. I personally love this balance because day-to-day life stays local and quiet, but when you need bigger store items, they're easy to reach. You can also use the bridge to drive to Seattle by going south through Tacoma. Depending on traffic, the drive can typically take around 2 hours. It's not how most people commute daily, but it's always a reliable backup. The Agate Pass Bridge can get a little congested during peak hours, roughly 7:30 a.m. and around 4:30 p.m., but congestion here usually means adding 10 to 20 minutes, not sitting still for an hour. Now back to the ferry. The Bainbridge Island Ferry Terminal is located right in downtown Winslow, which makes it extremely convenient. Inside the terminal, there's a warm waiting area, restrooms, and a cafe. If you're walking on, you can be dropped off, bike in, or park nearby in paid parking. There's a ramp that takes you directly onto the galley level of the boat. Now let's talk about pricing. For walk-on passengers, fares on the Bainbridge-Seattle route are collected only when you depart Seattle. That means if you're leaving Bainbridge as a walk-on passenger, you don't pay anything. If you're driving on with a standard vehicle, the vehicle and driver fare is $19.70 each direction. Vehicle fares are paid each time you drive onto the ferry at both terminals. Passenger fares, however, are still collected at Seattle. The key thing to remember is Seattle's where passenger fares are collected on this route. As of now, adult walk-on fare is $11.05, and that actually covers the whole round trip. Seniors and passengers with disabilities pay $5.50, youth 18 and under ride for free. So if you live on Bainbridge and commute to Seattle on foot, you'll simply pay your passenger fare in Seattle when you're heading home. If you're driving on, I suggest arriving about 20 minutes early, depending on which boat you're catching. Some boats are busier than others. All the locals here check the Washington State Ferries app, or Vessel Watch. It gives you real-time updates on delays and whether sailings are full. Most boats don't fill up unless it's peak commute, like a major Seattle event or holiday travel, and even then, things usually move pretty smoothly. Once aboard, if you drove on, you can stay in your car, and the views are surprisingly great from this level. But honestly, I always suggest heading upstairs if you can. The views are worth it. This is the moment where the commute stops feeling like a commute and starts feeling like something special. You're crossing the Puget Sound with views of the Seattle skyline, the Olympic Mountains, and open water. You'll regularly see seals, porpoises, bald eagles, osprey, and occasional orcas. Inside there are booths, tables, and quieter indoor seating areas if you want to read or get work done. There's also outdoor deck seating when the weather cooperates. The crossing itself takes about 35 minutes. The galley serves hot food, most famously Ivar's clam chowder, along with coffee, snacks, beer, cider, and wine. It feels more like a floating cafe than public transportation. When the ferry arrives in Seattle, you step off right in downtown, walking distance to the waterfront, Pike Place Market, and transit connections. At the Seattle Ferry Terminal, it works the same way. There are separate areas for drive-on vehicles and walk-on passengers. The main difference is that this is where you'll find the walk-on ticket booths and self-serve kiosks, since Seattle is where passenger fares are collected. This journey can be truly magical, and you may even be serenaded. Coming home at night can be especially beautiful. The city lights reflecting on the water, the skyline glowing. I used to do this commute every single day, and honestly, it never got old. If you're considering living on Bainbridge Island and want to talk through whether the ferry lifestyle actually makes sense for you, I'm always happy to help.
La, la, la.